Hoi there everyone! Ace Attorney is a franchise that has been close to my heart for a good while now. Starting with my introduction to the series through its crossover with Professor Layton, I quickly grew fascinated by the colourful cast, excellent music, and innovative gameplay of the Ace Attorney side of things. Since that game's release in 2014, I hadn't actively tried to get my hands on other Ace Attorney entries. However, with my purchase of the original trilogy's Switch port, things finally began to kick off. I played through and finished what were basically the first 3 games, and around the end of summer last year, I also bought and completed the great Ace Attorney Chronicles, the game that would eventually become my favourite game of all time, and that would finally get me hooked on the series for real. Yet, I knew there was a significant gap in my knowledge, a result of having missed out on a certain third major protagonist's arc. So, when my good friend Interesting Maneuver at some point proposed we play through exactly that arc, I naturally happily accepted. Oh, and we dragged some others along for the ride. Welcome to Apollo Justice Ace Attorney.
Oh no, oh no, no, no.
Oh no, Turnabout Trump, oh no.
Oh yeah, Turnabout Trump, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Turnabout Trump.
We're going to build a great turnabout, my friends. We're
Oh
going to get this case. This case is going to be so great, you're never going to believe it.
Well, if I am to believe you, it's going to be great.
I personally do really enjoy it, but it's kind of a popular opinion, I guess.
Gotta get the popcorn for this one.
The cutscene. Alright then. So he's dead. Panicked. Palms sweaty. I can admit it. I'm nervous.
Knees weak, arms are heavy.
Mom spaghetti.
Ah, good morning.
Oh, you. I've heard a lot about you.
You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight.
Wound up, sir? No, I'm loose. I'm fine.
That screeching noise. Is that your voice? I suppose it's to be expected. Your first trial, and it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh?
There seems to be a trend, first cases being homicide.
Yep. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client.
Now, who is the client? That is the question.
Truly, Mr.
But first, the introduction, of course.
Oh, yes.
My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants to help him out, of course. And so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him, no way. Ah, you.
I wonder who this dashing fellow is.
I wonder.
Oh no, you guys have probably already been spoiled, right?
Probably. I think I have a slight inkling as to who this might be, yes. Morning. It's all up to you today.
What? He's not British, I can tell you that much.
I'm sorry. I do it automatically. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney. And he's your friend. So you'll see. Huh? You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, it's time. Shall we? Yes, sir. Why does he have Papa on his hat? It's kind of strange.
A little
Okay.
sus.
I didn't want to say it. First trial. Here comes justice.
Oh.
Damn, imagine how
Because
good your
his
life
name
must
is
be if you're
Justice.
called Justice.
Yeah, that's gotta be a little bit on the side of cringe. is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see, Mr. Wright.
Yep. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I did know this.
Yep. It's Phoenix Wright.
Oh, Phoenix. How the mighty have
how
fallen.
the mighty have fallen.
Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright, piano player. Well, that's a bit of a
Please.
downgrade, I can't help but feel.
If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges. Mr. Payne?
To think, I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I see you leave in chains.
Ah, Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see.
The crime occurred at the Borscht Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him. Wham! On the head. Smack! Killed him cold.
A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was...
The pianist for the club, it seems.
Phoenix Wright. Pianist?
It is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice.
Oh boy, a bottle of grape juice.
Court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence.
Alright, there we go.
I have deadly bottle.
Deadly bottle.
Something to note, Justice.
Tutorial time, perhaps?
All evidence is filed on the court record. Make a practice of checking it frequently.
The court record. Right, I've heard of that. I sure hope you do. I suppose it is time for some hands-on action, then. Let's see.
Indeed.
Attorney's badge. How long did I yearn for one of these? Just putting it on makes me feel ready. I can check.
Yes, there's an examination.
There's a 3D feature in this game?
Yep.
Damn. Great
There's
Ace
a little
Attorney
spin on the
vibes,
back.
it's all coming back to me. This is a bit more tedious with the wheel, I suppose.
Yeah, probably a bit more.
There's a number inscribed on the back of the badge. There are many numbers like it, but this one is mine. Proof that I'm an attorney. To tell the truth, I get a happy feeling inside just looking at it.
I like the flavored text that they include for this kind of thing.
It is fun, it's always fun. The time of death was around 2 AM, April 17th. Death caused by single blow to the forehead.
Oh, that's actually like 9 days from now.
Oh, it is! Wait. Oops. Foreshadowing? Grape juice bottle used as the murder weapon. Bears the defendant Mr. Wright's prints. Well, that's not good. It's not a good start.
That's not ideal.
Boss at Gavin Law Offices. At first-rate defense attorney and my trusted mentor. And there's Phoenix Wright. Oh man.
Yeah, he certainly has a different style to go with his different outlook here.
I honestly don't really mind this design. I think it's kind of cool, actually.
It's pretty fun, honestly, yeah.
Damn, this guy is 61?
He's gotten older. He got a new haircut. Yep.
He has almost a similar haircut to the Great Ace Attorney 2, actually.
Isn't there like a predecessor he has in there?
Yes, there he's called Ouchie instead of Payne.
Yeah, he's called Ouchie. Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's the court record then. Excellent.
So the victim was a customer at this restaurant. But just who is this, Shady Smith fellow?
We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor.
Traveler?
According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear.
And he had some sort of connection with the defendant?
That too is unclear at present, Your Honor. We believe they first met at the Borscht Bowl Club on the night of the crime.
If they'd only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing?
That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill. At least, not piano playing. I'll let the photo explain what I mean. As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime.
Isn't poker gambling?
Astute observation.
That's a crime in and of itself.
But gambling isn't illegal in the United States, right?
It's not. Well, it depends. It depends on the type of gambling. If it's gambling, like in places like that have regulated casinos, it's not illegal. But it's in like an illicit underground place. It is. In some cases. It's a little bit nebulous. I'm not sure of the specifics. It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that, a game in the purest sense, a competition, Your Honor.
Oh yeah, that's a fine detail to point out. Remember where the game series is set. In Japan, it is full-on illegal, and there are many workarounds people have tried to figure out.
This is true, but it's kind of... the trilogy and Apologists are kind of like Japanifornia, in a sense. Like, it's kind of based on, like, the US, but also Japan.
Yeah, so I thought it was set in the US, actually.
But it uses a lot of Japanese sort of styles, because it's translated from Japanese and all that.
Well,
so.
That makes sense, I suppose.
Yes, a test of wits. A silent clash of passion. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame, know its final outcome. Come again?
The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present and impress women.
That will be our first order of business here, then. To find out more about this fatal game of cards.
Testimony time.
Very well, defendant. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime.
My pleasure. This is it. My first trial. Here goes nothing. Okay, so first thing I'm noticing, much less just, context, much less build-up than the Great Ace Attorney. Then again,
Yes,
not
there is
very
a lot.
surprising, since this is a DS Ace Attorney game.
There is a lot less build-up, it's true, but that's also part of... They're trying to not do as much build-up for this case in particular as well, because it's meant to be mysterious, yeah? Or at least that's how I see it.
I'm a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take uninterested customers over at the poker table. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is, a game, and our customers are happy.
A pianist who can't play piano?
Better than a defense attorney who can't defend.
Okay, Payne, he beat your ass. Come on, don't be salty.
Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination.
Oh, there we go. Right, Your Honor. My first cross-examination. Don't blow it.
Are you all right? You're sweating bullets.
Bullets? Where?
It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too. You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times. Though you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher?
What to do? Should I ask Mr. Gavin for a refresher course in cross-examination? Well, I think I'm going to opt for no thanks.
You probably will be okay. I have a hunch.
I think I'll be fine.
Find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it.
Love it.
The defense may begin the cross-examination.
Right. See what we can do. They pay you just to play poker? That would seem to be the case. I am a professional after all.
Bah! Why detect pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hard-working member of society like me to imagine.
Oh, this line is one of my favorites.
Yes, your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston.
What?
I've played poker for 7 years in that little room. And I've never, Lost. Once. What? You see why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw. Wait, you've never lost once? Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once. Is that even possible? I wonder if this is just another case of just pressing everything and you'll move on. That's what the first examination usually tends to be, I think.
It often is, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
This competition you're talking about, yeah,
It's just press everything and you'll move on, Yep.
I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently.
That's right. It was a simple game, after all.
People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. Yet you claim no connection to the crime.
Now that's strange.
What's strange?
I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. I completely let that one slip by.
Right. There's something I'd like made clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. And I'd like to hear it from you.
Sure, why not?
Very well. The defendant will amend his testimony.
Just one little press. And I've got myself a whole new testimony.
Ah, yes, one little press.
I plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Okay, well, that's not true, because his prints were on there.
I always feel bad when I don't press everything, though, in an Ace Attorney game, because then I realize I missed out on little hidden bits of dialogue.
Same. You just want the whole experience, you know? So yeah, the bottle bears the defendant's prints, so that's not really true that he didn't touch it. Oh, that's a good objection. I like that one. So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon? This grape juice bottle? Right? So I said... Fucking pain. The hair flip.
Oh, the way he flips his hair.
Oh, majestic.
Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb.
What's this, Mr. Payne?
I examined the bottle in question, you see. And it was covered with the defendant's fingerprint.
No way. What's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant?
Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints.
Huh?
But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down.
Whoa.
It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there can be only one reason for that. Yes. To brain someone with the bottle.
Whoa. Look like a monkey there. That's good.
Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court?
I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now.
Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case.
I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported?
Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright. But still, that's...
Really?
Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone.
I see. And this is the phone that made the call?
Yeah, of course we'd get that. Alright.
Hooray.
The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose.
Take a quick peek at his cell phone here, see if there's anything useful, I guess. Oh, there's a note! Or something. Wow, the batteries are held in with a piece of tape. Oh, that's tape, okay.
Okay, yeah.
He should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it. Or he just doesn't care.
Damn, I know that feel.
Damn.
I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being.
Lloyd, I assure you, no one is more serious about...
What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. How could you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness.
He's just filling in the blanks for the prosecution, okay.
You're as good as they say you are.
So someone else was in the room the night of the crime. That must mean they witnessed the crime.
Everything up till now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. My judge voice isn't great, but since I'm going to be
A girl! Oh no!
I don't want to...
Oh no,
No.
woman. A witness will state her name and profession.
Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness?
I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns. Ooh.
Wow. What a call-out.
Tragic.
So I used a little hair gel. Relax, people. Wow.
Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off.
You're sure?
God, why is the judge always such a simp for literally every female defendant? Yeah. Every female witness?
He always is.
My name is Olga Orly.
She's
I'm
a Russian.
employed as waitress in Borscht Bowl Club restaurant.
The Russians, they return. No, Great Ace Attorney,
no.
flashbacks, no.
Oh dear. Then why the camera?
Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht that is naming restaurant. But I also perform, how is it said, other service.
Oh no.
Suggestive.
I take it one of these other services is taking the customer's pictures?
Like for example, this one.
Oh, well that's not
Oh
good.
dear. This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps.
It is the same way as I drop cold bowls of borscht on laps of customers. Casually.
Then the court will casually accept this new evidence.
Excellent. Olga's photo. Quick interjection to check the photo. I don't think there's much to check out really, but
Touch the
Probably
check
not,
button
yeah.
for details.
I mean there's no crosshairs, so there's nothing to really check out.
I was in Rome. The hideout, we call it.
Excuse me? The hideout?
It is room where famous gangster bad guy was.
I forgot about that
damn
line.
it. God. So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and
Wait, who took the photo?
Olga Orly, our witness.
Yay.
And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... I'm jumping to conclusions a bit, I reckon.
Very well. Witness. You will testify to the court about that night's events.
You fool. It couldn't have been the third person. This is an Ace Attorney game. It's never that easy.
No.
That's right. Customer asked me to deal cards for game.
Well, to be fair, it can be pretty simple in the first cases, I will admit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It was cold. Both players on with their hats on, da? The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Then, last hand he's done. But something terrible has happened, da?
Da.
That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death.
Well, that's not good.
Incidentally, who won the game?
Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose.
Justice? Maybe you could come up with a more legitimate objection?
Wow. But he hadn't lost in 7 years.
Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as prosecutor either.
Feels bad.
Incidentally, I have some evidence here.
More evidence? Another photo, okay.
These are the poker chips, as they lay the very moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith.
Chips, you say?
I mean, yes. Imagine a poker's war.
I'd rather not.
Your hand is your army, and the chips are the spoils.
Oh, too topical. Too soon, Payne. Don't do this.
Oh no. Looking at this picture, this does seem rather topical. It does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table.
Chip photo. Excellent.
Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
But before that, we check out the chip photo, of course.
Chips, yum.
It's obviously going to come in handy eventually.
Eventually, yeah, as pretty much all evidence does.
Yeah. Except the attorney pin. That rarely comes in useful.
And even in some cases, you can show it to people at least, and they'll react to it, which is fun.
In the Great Ace Attorney, you get an achievement for actually showing the enemy prosecutor your little certification of being a lawyer.
That's fun.
It's already April. How could it be cold? Well, my friend.
Well,
that's called living in the Netherlands.
I have some news to you.
I have some news for you. We had snow last week. Objection.
Oh dear. Even I didn't have snow on the East Coast.
Outside it is pretty in spring, but inside it is always as cold as Mother Russia.
No way am I going there. Very well said.
Wow, Apollo fucking is doing the sanctions on it.
Oh no. I got a feeling this is much too topical. Or we're making it much too topical.
Go ahead. I believe you know what it is you need to do.
Right, sir. Leave it to me. There are only 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, then it has to be this Olga girl. Yeah.
Must be.
I've got you now, Orly.
Oh.
I just realized that her last name, O'Reilly.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a pun on O'Reilly. Yep.
The man flew at victim and is strangling him to death. But that's not how he died. Death caused by single blow to the forehead.
Indeed.
I do like the little cut-in with Apollo on the other screen.
He said it. He said it.
He said it. He's at the thing. Oh, really?
The objection.
Strangled, you say? That's odd.
Normal customers only choke on borscht.
It's not a good sign, I can't help but feel.
Oh dear.
No, I mean this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Miss Orley, really now? Did you witness the crime?
Really now?
Really now? Oh, that's some reflexes, damn. Olga.
Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything.
Yet, it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor.
Aha.
Here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during our investigation.
Looks kind of like Adult Aang, looking at it.
Adult who?
Adult Aang.
And
Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? Oh yeah, I see what you mean now. Yeah.
Right?
This head certainly was hit.
Astute observation. Okay.
thank you, Captain
The judge.
Obvious.
Yeah.
The defendant, he lunged at victim, his neck.
Oh, really, Miss Orley? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time.
All right, I get it.
Justice. I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more.
What do you mean? I found a contradiction.
There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Seems we should continue the cross-examination.
There's such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it.
There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too.
There were only 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. Are they just going to keep saying this? What? Are they just going to keep repeating this? Oh, but that's after you've pressed everything. Okay. That's why they keep repeating it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Frankly, I don't really know what to do, so that's not good. Well, there's no signs of strangulation, so I don't think he went to strangle the guy. Would a try at strangulation leave prints, you think?
I feel like it would, right?
Probably would. Well, that's my best guess right now, so might as well.
Yeah, you have all your...
It doesn't look like
maybe.
it. The music continues, so we were not correct, guys.
Oh dear. Yep, the telltale hint.
Yeah.
Objection overruled.
Damn. I don't think that won me any points with the judge.
I think that's exactly Phoenix's line.
Yeah, I think so too, actually.
Yeah.
He hit him with the bottle, but like, if he was wearing his hat the entire time, would it leave a mark like this?
Yeah, that's the thing. So is there a different statement that she...
Yeah, it's the one with they were playing with their hats on the entire time.
Apparently,
Yeah.
Apollo figured it out faster than you did.
Well, Apollo still hasn't figured it out either, if I'm to take the text at its face value. Yeah, I don't really know what else to point out other than that he...
Yeah, you could do that.
I guess. Nope.
Okay.
Too
no.
bad.
Hmm.
Flubbing already.
Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Justice.
Ooh, this is looking kind of rough. I must be on the wrong track.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, never mind. Check the crime photo again. The
Crime
second
photo, which
photo.
one? The second
The
one?
guy of, we'll go to the Olga's third statement.
Third statement.
My man looked up the guide.
I know, but I was trying to see if there's anything to present. We need to present.
This is her third
But
statement.
I realized that we never really have gotten this. Okay, and then just take a look at the photo of the guy.
Oh, the victim. Oh. Yeah.
What are you getting from that?
Well, he doesn't have a pendant, so
Where's the
yeah.
locket?
he wasn't playing with the locket. Now I get it. Okay.
Yeah, it was. We would have taken so long in that yeah.
Oh, the bane of just forgetting the distinction between the victim and the defendant. You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean?
Mr. Justice, will you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about?
Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on his locket at his neck, I believe she said.
I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar.
No, but look at this photograph.
Oh, God. No, but look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck?
Well done, Justice. I'm impressed.
Thank you very much, Christoph. Only took me like 4 tries, but it's fine.
If we are to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death.
Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor.
It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off, no?
Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean...
The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Defendant, what do you have to say to this? Say.
Yes?
I just noticed this, but...
You're wearing a pendant.
You have something hanging around your neck, don't you?
You don't say. Oh? You mean this? Yes, it's a locket. With a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter. He has a daughter? No! There's no way!
Phoenix got hitched.
Yeah, he got laid! Damn!
Well now, if the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of this game.
Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost. Badly.
Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and the defendant.
Alright.
Oh boy.
Serious competition.
Oh joy.
The game began with 3,500 point-in chips for each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who was winning, it was victim. For last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabbed bottle from table and...
And? Leaves us hanging, okay. Okay, well, we're down a bit of health, but sure we can do this. Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used?
Of course.
Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? Well, we always press harder.
Going in harder.
Giga Chad moment.
Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips.
Explain? What is there to be explained?
Objection!
Poker chips are poker chips.
The most ear-grating objection in history.
They're not fish and chips. Not a chip off the old block. Not a...
Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I'd better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars? Or rubles, even?
Well, if they're worth anything in rubles, they're probably going to be
worth nothing at this point.
Chip of a penny, yeah.
And yet, as I have been saying before, it was game, not gambling. Hard, perhaps, for capitalists to understand.
Okay, alright.
Fucking rolled, holy shit.
Are we in the 1960s now?
Oh no.
Justice.
Sir.
Don't you find her comment interesting?
The capitalist one? Yeah, definitely.
I'd have it added to her testimony myself. Well, does the defense want the witness to add to her testimony?
Nah, no need.
Yes.
Of course. What do you mean?
No.
One kind of chip is worth 100 points, other kind is worth 1,000. Mr. Gavin said this testimony is important. I'd better think of something to ask. And quick! The two types of chips.
Zara?
The small ones are 100, and the big ones 1,000. Right? Right. Of course.
Don't waste our time.
Great. Mr. Gavin made me stop her, and now I'm the one who looks dumb.
Oh, Justice? Please try not to embarrass me like that.
Loud and clear.
There's a clear contradiction in the information you have on your hands.
Oh, wait. I think I might know where he's going with this. Let's say the black ones were worth 100 instead of 1,000, then Phoenix would have been winning.
That truly is an excellent hand. However, so is the victim's.
It is?
Well, let's see. Hold on.
7.
The one on the... There's a full house on the...
Oh,
on the
right.
right.
3 sevens
And
and
then the
2
left
aces.
is also... I think they're both... Wait,
Both
hold on a
full
second.
houses, right? So they would have tied.
They would have... Yeah, I think so, right?
I don't think
Wait,
so.
hold on.
Technically,
No, no.
the victim should have still won because he had a high king.
Because the king
Yeah,
is worth
he had
more
a-
than 7.
Right, he had a high king, yeah. Remember, your first goal is to gather information.
Yes, sir. Look out, contradiction. Here comes justice. God, this guy is so corny, honestly.
He is.
Okay, so they began with 7,000 total. So there should be 7,000 on the table. Yeah, if they started with 7,000, then the black ones cannot be worth 1,000. Because there's 10 black chips. 10 worth 100, and 6 worth 1,000. Okay.
Yep.
Phoenix was winning. Because he had 4,100. Yep.
Based on how we have to math it out. Let's see.
Well, I'm assuming it will automatically do the same calculation as I did, or at least it will take that for granted. It does, I think. Okay. Let's go! You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure?
Seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won, if you're not in kindergarten.
Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court?
Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips, and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points?
Oh, why, the big ones, of course.
Oh boy. Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up.
The totals.
Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points, and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up...
How much is it?
Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten, are you? Excellent comeback and follow. 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony.
But why? How could this be?
Exactly. Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why.
Right. There's only one possible way to explain this contradiction.
I think by count they mean the number of them.
Then probably both were right is the answer here. The value of the chips was the other way around.
What?
Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones.
Madness! Utter madness!
Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself.
God, this guy. That's very condescending comments.
But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing.
Indeed. The victim did have the larger number of chips still.
Yeah, but not the larger value.
Math.
The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points and the defendant had 4,100 points.
Well now. It seemed that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all.
That's impossible!
My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning! Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips. Since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you?
It appears the defendant has lost his motive. We must now ask ourselves whether we can trust the witness's testimony yet. Excuse me? What is it, Miss Orley?
I did not want to be saying this, but... Actually, you see, See what, Miss Orley? What do you see?
In the left hand. The left hand, there was cheat.
Oh no, there was cheat? No way.
The gas.
Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand.
The final hand. Ooh.
The left hand. Both men had full house.
Okay, so you were correct. Interesting.
There is 4 of each card in deck, from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument that the defendant's trick was exposed. He took bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith.
A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make, in my experience. Yeah, it isn't.
Huh.
That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics.
Mr. Gavin? What's a full house?
Oh, yes, these days. Don't know your poker.
I can't say this bodes well for your case. Or career.
What, not knowing the rules of poker?
Have you considered chess?
You know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes?
Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number makes a pair, and 3 makes 3 of a kind. Obviously.
Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind.
That's a full house. Oh,
That's a full. That's a full house.
predicted. Let's go.
We forget there's an easy way to make a full house. And go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat.
Ahem. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat? 4 of each card, you say?
That. There's 1 spade, 1 diamond, 1 heart, and 1 club for each card. It is interesting fact that this number 4 comes from number of seasons.
Huh, you don't say.
Ah, and did you know that the cards are numbered 1 through 13? Add all the cards in a deck and you get 364 a year.
Huh, you don't say. Isn't that 1 day short?
That's why each deck has 2 jokers. They say the second joker stands for the leap year.
Oh, well, there you have it.
Thus you have a perfect representation of the year. All in a deck of cards.
Huh, you don't say. We're going to be in this courtroom for a year if it keeps going like this. If you look at both man's hands, cheat is more obvious. Well, tell me about it, because I'm not seeing it. How is it clear?
The defendant... He played a 5th ace.
No, he didn't.
Obviously cheating was afoot. Or perhaps I should say, a hand.
Classic.
Thank you, I'll be here all week.
Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces and Mr. Wright's 2. It is 5 aces in all. Well, obviously, that's not correct. Because he has 3 kings and not 3 aces.
Yep,
that's an easy one.
Yeah.
It appears the witness is mistaken.
Mistaken? What's my name?
Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony.
That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice.
Take a shot every time Kristoff says justice.
True.
Yeah. Perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point.
Oh, we get to actually point? Let's go.
What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony?
Well, let's go. Crosshairs?
Oh boy, time to touch.
Ooh. Ace Attorney fans when they get to move the crosshairs. Right, there's 3 kings, so that's not right. I guess.
3 kings and 2 aces instead of 3 aces and 2 kings.
Exactly. Take that! Miss Orley, In your testimony, you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces.
Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question.
No, because he had 3 7s. Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's this 5th ace? I see cheating alright, and it's going on right here in this courtroom. Yeah, Apollo, get them.
Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards. The cards? Mr. Payne.
Yes?
The players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards?
Well, the victim's, obviously. If these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? Well, I mean, by all accounts, the victim's hand is the most suspicious, so... It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards.
Very well. Mr. Payne, if you would.
Very well.
Received evidence, victim's hand. Okay.
Well, time's a-wasting. Get to it, Justice.
Right away, sir. Let's see. Second page. Exciting.
Hand. Let's see here. There's a heart and a diamond.
Okay, so there is a heart and a diamond.
Check the back. Check the back.
There's probably a red one in there, and a blue one.
A blue.
Oh.
But only one of the cards has a blue back. I'm much more of a red guy myself. You don't say. Blue is so not red, you know?
Wow.
Well, we examined that. There's nothing else, so I guess we'll just move on.
Yeah, that's
yes, sir. I did that. Wait. Excuse me?
We literally just...
No!
No! Christoph is here to give you a tutorial.
No!
We're going too fast.
Oh no. When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides.
We literally did this. I played the Great Ace Attorney. Don't tell me this. If there's one thing Christoph has been actively doing, it's making me feel stupid, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's part of his job.
Wow. Come on, Apollo, don't react like you haven't seen this like 10 seconds ago.
Oh god. An oversight.
What? Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color.
But I put that card in right hand.
Oh.
What was that, Miss Orley?
Uh-oh.
Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat? I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say.
Wait, so you mean... this witness, Miss Orley?
She's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager.
Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. God. God damn it.
Apollo, stop
No.
closing your eyes.
No! Apollo!
No!
I mean, of her mistake. Your Honor. Please recall the testimony we just heard.
It's impossible.
You can't just fucking say that, Apollo. Come on, man.
Hey, he didn't say it out loud, or if he did, he said it very quietly.
Yeah, okay.
But I put that card in right hand.
Ergo, Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat. Not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith.
Yay, the good stuff.
Cornered.
There's the pursuit theme. Not only did she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. Slow motion, okay.
The defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, are you?
This is the Phoenix Wright game. We must accuse the defendant.
Time for justice!
But in this case, it's not even a Phoenix Wright game, really.
Oh, here we go again. God damn it. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means... I am. What? Excuse me?
Wait, what?
Okay, I get it now.
Responding to the judge,
The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder. Oh, well, she fainted.
Whoops.
Oh no, the food.
Mr. Payne, where's your witness, Miss Olga Orley?
It appears she has lost, consciousness, Your Honor. Damn.
Mr. Justice?
Your Honor.
It seems you presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith.
And that means?
This court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time.
What?
I did it! I held out! Excellent work, Bolo.
I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
Oh, there's the classic objection.
He said it!
Oh, he said
it!
He did the thing! You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet.
What nonsense is the defendant spewing now?
Think. One of the cards had a different colored back.
Yes, I figured this out.
Don't you wonder what it means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous!
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know. Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous.
True! As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night.
That was said before.
The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs. Blue and red.
The Phoenix said, as was said before, and then Payne
and then
says,
he just repeats it.
Yeah.
Think. In the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Well, yeah. Thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped.
Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne. Or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped into the deck?
Let's see, what do you think?
It's a good question. I tend to think it would be after the murder. Like, during the murder is such an outrageous conclusion, it might just be right.
Right, yeah.
Well, I think Phoenix might fill in the right answer anyway. So
He might anyway.
Let's try during the murder. Well, weren't they swapped during the murder?
During the murder? Tell me, exactly when is that?
Huh? Well, the very moment of the act, I guess. Would that be the moment the cards were shown?
Or perhaps the moment when the cheater was revealed? Or maybe the very moment the bottle came down on Mr. Smith's head?
Could I have a moment?
That moment could cost you this case.
Sorry. Let me rethink this. Okay, so that's not it, apparently. Well, it must have happened before the murder.
You mean during the game?
I wonder. Huh? Why? Think. When you're playing poker, which side of the cards face your opponent? The back.
Not something the poker head of courtroom number 3 would be likely to miss.
Thanks, Judge. Appreciate it. Sorry, let me think about this some more. Well, thank God this wasn't an important decision.
Thank goodness they didn't penalize us, otherwise we'd be out.
Well, my first instinct was correct then.
My first instinct was after the murder, but then again, I played already, so...
After the murder?
What's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly.
Objection. He has a really good voice. I do like that.
Indeed.
Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible.
Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible.
Oh? Even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time.
Ah.
Quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown. After the murder.
Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that?
Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us.
There's another?
Yes, a simple, yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Phoenix Wright, Olga Orly, or someone else? You're not going to tell me it was a fourth person.
We've already ruled out Phoenix Wright, since he wasn't in the room.
Well, right. Olga had that slip of the tongue, so I'm drawn to click her.
Yeah, it makes sense, at least to me.
Why? It must have been Olga Orly who swapped the cards. She was trying to cover up the evidence of the cheating. Sorry.
Yo?
But there's a problem with that explanation. Huh? Mixing a card from the wrong deck, when the backs are different colors? Remember that you're talking about Olga Orly. She was the dealer. Do you really think she would make such a novice mistake? Actually, I have trouble imagining even the judge making that mistake. So it has to be someone else.
It would have to be someone else, yeah.
A fourth person.
Ooh.
Right? Can't have been the victim.
Oh, sorry.
Who's this fussy baka?
The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orly either. Well, no, we've established that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
His hair propped up.
What are you suggesting? That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orly at this point.
I did,
yeah,
Christoph. Don't call me out.
Yeah.
I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card.
And if the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious.
Ha. Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is.
Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss Orly...
Then who was it?
Hey, you stole my line!
He does it again. Yeah, well, that is the question, innit? Sorry. Sorry.
In it, bruv.
In it,
bruv. Oh my fucking in it.
I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. We'll find that, indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. And that someone made two critical mistakes.
I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong colored card.
Because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right. The person replaced the fifth ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting their... Oh, that's Phoenix. Shit. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in.
Oh, but there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist.
True. Not until now. But you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime.
Dun, dun, dun.
Startling revelation.
I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial has proceeded on one central assumption. Namely, that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room.
I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption.
The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court.
I suppose that is a problem, yes.
Court is adjourned for a brief recess.
Alright, there
now
we go.
I'm going to go play outside. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Certainly, Your Honor.
Very well. The trial will resume in 20 minutes. Okay,
Cool beans. And now with that, I'm afraid that I must make my departure.
That is perfectly fine.
Departure as soon as you like. Yes, we're all. It is a good time to stop.